Welcome to Financials with Ahawo. It's a joy to be together with you again as we continue on the wealth conversations. We are building up on investing in Africa, and we've been focusing on Kenya, which is in East Africa, and really looking at the property area. We started with land, moved into property, and last time we were just discussing property for our family home, and I'd like us today to delve into commercial property. Now, this is an interesting one because we know that commercial property has been touted as being the end of land being used for farming, because people are finding it more lucrative to move their income source to buildings that they can rent for business, they can rent for accommodation, they can rent to malls and things like that. So why would we want to move our property, or what does it entail when it comes to property for commercial purposes? Now, it's important to note, I'm very sure about Kenya now. I know we go discovering other nations, that there is actually a law that demarcates land that is supposed to be put to different types of uses. So for instance, in residential area, the land there is marked for residential purposes. And if you were to pick that land and change it, you would have to actually go and get a change of user permit to be able to make it a commercial property. Or if the property is commercial, then it would be the same. So there are certain areas that have been designated already as residential, commercial, and things like that. So if you're looking for commercial property, usually the first place to go is the places that are already designated in that way. Then you don't have to go through the process of doing a change. You just have to say, oh, I've seen this building. It's in the center of the central district in Kisumu, for instance. And it's commercial property, and you can be able to put it into use. So that's one. But second, it's important to understand, are you purchasing or are you leasing? If you're leasing, then what duration of time are you going to lease for? Is it going to be favorable dependent on the business you want to do? Do you want to have a long-term impact in that area such that leasing then does not make sense because you want to purchase? Or is it a place you're going to be there periodically and you plan to grow into another place? If you go the purchase direction, then you have to even ask yourself, which we also do with land, what type of lease now does it have? Like when you buy it, what kind of title, will you get? Is it freehold? Is it a title that is timed? So that you also know. And even if it is a timed title, where is it within its expiry? Because you could be buying a title that's at 19, it's for 99 years, it's at 89 years. So within 10 years, things could change very fast, So these are some of the things that would be very, very key when you're thinking through commercial property, just in terms of how the paperwork will be done. The other thing would be location. You want a commercial property. What is the ideal location for this commercial property? And this one, now you think of it in terms of the purpose for which you want it, the business you want to do it. For instance, I want a commercial property to set up a petrol station. I'm definitely looking to be on a highway. On another instance, I'm looking for a commercial property to set up a school. I'm definitely looking for a quieter location. I want a commercial property to set up a shopping mall. I'm looking for an area with residential areas, an area that's growing, that people can be able to come to my mall, or an area that does not even have a lot of malls, and I can come and, increase the presence of shops through my mall. So also location will be key based on the purpose you want to do it for. The other thing will be cost. I know we say cost all the time, but it's because money is indeed important. I was reflecting today on how we make decisions, especially in business, and the thing that just came to my mind was budget is king. And I know it sounds like, whoa, take a moment and really, but it's true. You really have to think through the budget. You really have to think, what's the investment to take this place? If I'm taking a place that is undeveloped, what will it take for me to develop it? If I'm taking a place that's already existent, is it up to the standards I want to? Do I have to renovate? I recently visited a mall that I grew up going to, but those places you haven't visited in a time, life gets intense, and just happened to be there over the weekend. And I was like, wait, this place has been renovated, it's looking fresh. But it means that there's an amount of budget they had to put on it, because newer and better buildings are coming up. So they also have to keep up with the trends. And believe it or not, it was renovated to look like some of the newer buildings that are coming up within the area. That's going to be very key. Also, if the budget is being sourced by you or it's being funded, then what kind of agreement do you have with those who are going to fund that budget? Is it going to be joint ownership until you finish? If it's being funded on credit or by whatever facility? Is it going to be a continual, shared ownership with returns being shared, which is good sometimes because also loss can be shared if such an agreement is entered into? Is it going to be funds that you already have or funds that you pool? I remember listening to such an interesting account, and someone was saying how this woman had a vision to build a school, and she went, to this group of people like, hey, I want to build a school. Can you come alongside me? And she had the budget for the whole school. But these people told her, what are the core things you need as you start the school? So she broke down from this big, I want a school, to a school will start with an administration block. And then we're probably going to start we want to start all the way from kindergarten. So we need the 3 younger kindergarten classes. And since we are growing with the children, the next level will be the upper primary. Then we need facilities like a kitchen, a dining hall. We need a playing field to be done. So what they did is they enabled her to build that school, but step by step, and to face it out. And they gave a certain percentage, but they also asked her to bring her own to the table. And that way she was still able to grow her dream over time. The other thing with getting commercial property is timelines. Sometimes you meet a property and it's at a bargain, and you come back a year later, it's gone, it's changed, the terms are different. So also timelines. What are the timelines by which you want to get this property and put it into use? Because you also don't want to buy property for a commercial purpose or lease a property for a commercial purpose and it's stuck. It sits somewhere waiting now for you to do the next phase. So this is going to be key. Allow me to pause there just to give you time to reflect and think on those as you put into thought, what is it going to entail to come into ownership or lease a commercial property as I grow my investment in Africa. Thank you for listening. It's a joy to continue to share with you. God bless you. It's Ahawo.